Hello, everybody, and welcome to Influential Women. Here we empower, connect, and inspire women who are leading, creating, and redefining what is possible. I'm your host, Jodie O'Brien, and today we are joined by Heather Holmes. She's the founder and CEO of Publicity for Good. I know her. She's in my inbox all day, every day. The number one communications agency. That's her agency for purpose driven brands. Heather is also the author of Seen by AI, Found by Customers, and a leading expert on AI visibility, authority building, and the future of brand discovery. Over the years, Heather has helped more than 500 brands grow through strategic storytelling, earned media, and visibility strategies that build trust and long term credibility. She is my kind of girl, let me tell you. Today, she's helping businesses navigate one of the biggest shifts in marketing history, the rise of AI powered search and discovery. This is a conversation about AI, visibility, thought leadership, and how businesses can stay discoverable in the future of search. Heather, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
I'm excited to be here, and I feel like we could talk for hours and hours over a cup of coffee.
Oh my gosh, same, same. Like I said, you're in my inbox, right? Pitching your clients all day long. And some of these clients are fascinating. So I want to get into it. You said we are entering the biggest shifts in consumer discovery since the rise of Google. I agree.
Yeah.
What are you seeing happen right now? And why should business owners be paying close attention?
So it's exciting. It really is a level playing field, meaning that companies can rise very quickly. And I can tell you from firsthand experience from being in the media so much, talking about having four under four, scaling our business in an airstream. I've been in the media so much. And over time, we've been getting inbound leads because people go to Chat GPT and say, who's the number one purpose driven company to help me with PR? We come up, right? So now if someone is searching for who's the best lawyer, I'm looking for a new book to read, etc., you're going to be ranking on Chat GPT through your media features. You can literally do an audit right now. You can go to Chat GPT and whatever you do, whether you're a lawyer, attorney, or you have a lip balm company, you can literally type who is the best attorney in Kansas City and you'll see what comes up. You need to be featured there. So it's really a level playing field that companies can start getting featured. And there's higher purchase intent when people are searching on Claude or Chat GPT or even searching on Gemini because people want to make fast decisions. So it's exciting, very exciting.
I love that. Now, if you're advising a founder with an incredible product, but they have a limited marketing or PR budget, where would you tell them to start?
So there's a couple of different things. Things in your control is ensuring that your name, address, and phone number is consistent, making sure your bio is consistent on your Google business profile, social media website. The content needs to be the same. The second is really leaning into Medium and LinkedIn. Those are third party websites that have very high domain ranking that can help you rank in the LLMs, right? The other thing too is local media. You know your background as being a producer. Local media loves highlighting the hero's journey, local businesses making a difference. So there's so much power in your local newspaper, your local TV station. Now, you're going to want to make sure it gets on the website, right? But there's so much power in starting local. And as long as we talked about this, I feel like we're so aligned with how we think. I teach my team on problem solution. As long as you can pitch yourself to the media and focus on problem solution, lean into something happening in the news or a relevant stat to have you be a solution and someone inspiring to the producer, you typically will get that story. So it's exciting because if you have local media in your market, or maybe you lived in a town for a very long time, you still have that affinity, huge opportunity for you.
Oh my gosh, you and I are best friends. You know this already. Within
Yeah.
3 minutes, we were best friends. Because isn't that so true? In local podcasting, too. I mean, I have
Yeah.
told you and shared with our audience that I host a local podcast. People don't realize there's 10 news values, right? Proximity, timeliness, relevance, humor. I mean, the list goes on. So you
Yeah.
have to really hone in on at least one of those. And if you have a good story idea, you will be presented at that news desk, let me tell you.
Oh, for sure. But how many pitches when you were the producer, how many pitches would you get a day?
Uh,
How many numbers?
Thousands, hundreds, thousands. I remember did a morning show, right? And I would wake up and I would get to the station at like 3 o'clock in the morning and they would already be on the phone. People like yourself
Yeah,
pitching me great stories. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Could you get to the point? And then I would end up booking them to do a satellite interview, right? Back in the early
yeah.
2000s. Now we can just put them on a Zoom. It's so easy to talk to people from all over the world. And even if you think that your story, oh, well, it's not a local story, the pitches that I get even today are from, people who have products and services and are leading companies from all over the country. And it is relevant. You can make a story relevant. I don't have a client who I do not make a story relevant for, right? There is a
Yeah.
way. There is a track there, but you have to work to find it. The best thing that I tell people is it's all about those statistics. What is the stat? Why does it matter to your audience?
Love that.
Yeah, I guess you're interviewing me now, but I'll get back to it. So, for years, businesses focused, of course, on search engines for social media to get discovered. So, how is AI changing the way consumers find these brands, products, and information?
Well, it's a couple of different things. There is higher purchase intent when someone is searching. A lot of times it will do the guesswork for you. Example, I went to ChatGPT. I was trying to plan out a Montessori playroom for my kids. And I said, please help me find the best products on Amazon based on the Montessori style that I should buy. And I literally gave me all the links. And now you can buy products from ChatGPT. There's a shop function. So it does a lot of the research for you, right? And again, the products and companies that are getting listed are featured on high domain ranking websites from the trust signal. They Another hack is getting listed on local chamber of commerce websites or any of those things as well. But essentially, you need to have third party high domain ranking websites endorse you as someone that is trusted. So you can't just rest on your social media account and or your website anymore. Like you need to be endorsed by media outlets. You need to have your website listed on directories, really all those things, right? So businesses that get ahead of it now will absolutely win the game. And I don't think it's an option not to. I think getting in the media and with the world of I think people want more authenticity than before. So,
There are creative ways to get some local attention. And we talked about how like TV stations, radio, newspaper, maybe in the local markets are less and less being paid attention to. But like we said, local podcasts, your chamber, there's so many opportunities there. So, one of your core messages is that founder led content is becoming increasingly valuable. This is a great example. Doing an interview like this with me, where we can share it on LinkedIn, it's a founder led interview content, and the algorithm eats it up. So why are founders themselves becoming such an important part of a company's visibility strategy?
well, I think a lot of companies are able to rise very quickly and or people can start businesses in less than a week. They're $1 million company because of AI. That's the truth. But I think also people are craving more authenticity, not AI created images, not AI created videos. Like because that provides more transparency. And I think now people really want more transparency when that comes to it. Like my 3 month old is talking in the background and he was just brought back into my office and he's talking, right? Like, so,
It's
I think,
authentic, right? And
yeah,
AI, these algorithms and stuff, they're picking up on the authenticity, which that surprises me, I think. Does that surprise you?
I think it does for sure.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
love that. That baby, what is that baby's name?
Baby Luke, baby Luke,
Baby
3 months,
Luke.
baby Luke.
He can keep talking. We love it because, this is part of being a
Want to see,
woman-owned
want to
business.
meet baby Luke? Come on.
Yeah.
I
Come here,
think there's
baby.
this is baby Luke and Tara.
Hey, sweet boy.
He's so sweet.
Oh,
But
that
I
makes me
think
baby jealous.
but I think there's some beauty and a leaning into the non-scripted, you know what I mean? Like
For
yeah.
sure. So let's talk about you being a mom because I'm a mom as well. I've got myself canned in here to my office. I got 3 teenagers upstairs who are probably starving. I don't know why they don't know how to cook for themselves. How have you done it? How have you ended up in my inbox of all things with,
Uh,
having a family?
well, there's a couple of different things. One, so this is so I'm actually having a birthday party tonight. First birthday party ever. Rose will be 4 on Monday, Benai will be 3 on June 30th. Charles will be 2 July 27th. So, and my family, my in-laws are in town and my mom's coming in town in like 2 hours. I'm gonna have a little birthday party and Rose's first recital. But so this is the first time now that we have like a nanny at our house who's a new
Uh-huh.
friend who I trust, pours into the kids. So my point of it is we've started to build off the team. We're now a team of 70. We're full time in the US and overseas full time. But I stay in my lane, if that makes sense. And that there's so many things that I'm
Absolutely.
not good at. And it takes a village.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, small business owner over here. I hired my first employee. She's a freelancer. I don't
Yeah.
own her, but man, that was a big step. It's a big step to let go. So being, business minded while juggling all the kiddos in your family, how have you done that? How have you let go in that way? And how long did it take you?
How long did that take me? I'm not sure. I think I think it's always a work in progress, but I'm trying to focus on wherever my feet is, be fully present. Because if my
Mhm.
feet are here and I feel guilty for not being with my other kiddos, then it's like I'm robbing my team of my time and heart. And then if I'm at home with my kids and then I'm worried about the business, then I'm robbing them of that time. So I'm really trying to just focus on like be present, like with where my feet are in that moment.
Yeah, I love that. So, many entrepreneurs are just like us. They feel overwhelmed trying to kind of keep up with everything. But how do they keep up with each platform? Like, what's your advice to them? Every trend, every algorithm change. What should they stop doing and what should they focus on instead?
With social media, I feel like it's easier more than ever to post every single day on social media. I think it depends on where you get your clients. And are you posting on social media from an impact perspective or are you using it as a lead gen perspective? But like you could literally create all of your content with AI in 30 minutes. And then you could use Claude Cowork to do all the posting for you. So there's never been a more exciting time to leverage technology for what you're doing and everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we're going to meet after this so you can teach me because, of course, my content is AI driven. But when you say that it can be helping us post, okay, we need a meeting.
Yeah, we're doing a lot with Claude Cowork and everything. There's so much that it can do for you. Manage your inbox. People need to stop thinking in terms of how does AI do work for me. I think people need to think in terms of systems
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
automations and everything.
I love that. So how do you see the relationship between Claude and trust and brand reputation evolving in the next few years?
I mean, I still think authenticity at its core. I think people are going to crave in-person connections for sure. I think companies that utilize Claude intentionally and team members and employees who get on board with learning. I think it's when you don't get on board or you get stuck or overwhelmed. It's the people who utilize how to use the resource that will win. But again, I think a lot of our choices are going to be done through Claude or any of those things because you literally could have all your research or market research done very quickly, right? So I think we're
Yeah.
going to be able to use our time better and more strategically on bigger things that move the needle. Example, like you spending 2 hours having coffee with an ideal client versus you know, sending 100 DMs in 2 hours, right? I think we're gonna be able to be more intentional to do the things that matter more and move the needle and have like Claude do more of the task-oriented things that, don't necessarily need a person for, where you can only be the one that develops that deeper partnership.
Yeah, exactly. I always say to people, hopefully my job never goes away because the authenticity of an in person conversation, seriously, that cannot be replicated. Like being able to connect with someone on an emotional level and really in a business minded level, hopefully that will never go away. What do
Yep.
you see the opportunity for women as far as their entrepreneurial dreams? And the fact they're business leaders, right now specifically. Do you see anything that you're doing that you think, "Oh my gosh, I need to tell other people about this?"
I think you can have it all, but I think there's different seasons. And that like you can have a family and you can have kids and you can have a business and you can like have it all and create it all and everything, if that makes sense.
Man, you're a perfect example, right?
Right, but there's some seasons where it's like you're fully traveling, and then some seasons where you intentionally say no to things because you need to be at home for that season with your kids and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Heather, I cannot thank you enough for being with us today. Like I said, you are my soul sister. We are absolutely going to be touching base in the future because we have the same heart when it comes to people getting that visibility. So thank you for being with us.
I'm so excited to see what comes, like, everything, because don't you get so much joy? Like, even from doing this, like, I've been a publicist since 2012, and I used to wanna be a TV producer. That's my favorite thing to do is get people on TV, but you get so much joy every time
Oh,
someone gets a segment because you know
yeah.
what's on the other end of that, their confidence, more segments, more social proof, their family really realizing that they're doing something right, like, it's incredible. So
Well, and absolutely being a reporter and an anchor as well and an assignment editor, like that stuff, when there is a cause that is worthy and needs to be noted by people, whether it's, Alzheimer's, whether in dementia, or whether it's a cancer diagnosis or a cancer cure in some way, shape, or form, like so many things touch people's lives. And that gives us great joy to serve the community in that way. And so, yeah, I absolutely believe it gives us such great joy. I love that it gives you joy too.
so much joy.
So, this conversation has been obviously a powerful reminder for our audience that visibility isn't just about being seen, it's about being trusted, remembered, and discoverable in a rapidly evolving world. We're grateful for your insights today, your leadership, and that work that you're doing to help businesses navigate the future of search, storytelling, which we love, and brand authority. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave us a review, or share it with a woman who is building a business, growing a brand, or looking to stay ahead in an increasingly AI driven world. Every story strengthens the visibility of women who are creating meaningful impact through innovation and their leadership. So until next time, I'm Jodie O'Brien, and this was Influential Women. Keep showing up, keep innovating, and keep building solutions that matter.